When did breaking a rule literally save your life? I was 12 when my stepfather installed the metal box in our basement. It was bolted to the concrete floor with a heavy padlock that required 2 keys to open. Family safety measures, he told my mother with that smile that never reached his eyes. My little sister Emma and I were forbidden from going near it. That box keeps us safe, he'd say during family dinners, tapping his knife against his plate for emphasis. Anyone who touches it puts this whole family at risk. The punishment for even looking at it too long was severe. No food for 2 days, sleeping in the yard regardless of weather, or worse. Emma got caught once standing too close. He made her stand in ice water until her feet turned blue while he lectured about respect. Our mother just watched from the kitchen doorway, eyes vacant like they'd been since he moved in 3 years ago. The first time I heard sounds from the basement was on a Tuesday night, a muffled thumping that vibrated through the floorboards of my bedroom. When I asked about it at breakfast, my stepfather grabbed my wrist so hard it left finger-shaped bruises. Heating system, he said. Never mention it again. But the sounds continued, sometimes accompanied by what sounded like scratching. I started keeping track in a notebook hidden inside my mattress. Emma started having nightmares. "There's someone in the box," she whispered one night, crawling into my bed. "They want out." I told her it was dreams, but I wasn't so sure anymore. The rule about the box became stricter. Now we weren't even allowed in the basement without him present. He installed a new lock on the basement door and carried those keys too, alongside the ones for the box. The night everything changed, Emma had a fever of 104. Mom was working again, and my stepfather refused to take her to the emergency room. "She's faking for attention," he said, though her skin burned under my palm. When he finally fell asleep on the couch, I decided to look for medicine in the basement where he kept supplies. I stole his keys while he snored, whiskey bottle empty beside him. The basement stairs creaked under my weight. The smell hit me immediately, making my eyes water. And then I heard it, a weak tapping coming from inside the box. 3 taps, pause, 3 taps, pause, a pattern, not random. I stood frozen, keys clutched in my sweaty hand. Breaking this rule meant possible death. My hands shook. It took 3 tries to fit the keys in the locks. The lid was heavier than expected. Inside, curled into an impossible position, was a woman. Alive, but barely. Gaunt face, cracked lips, eyes that had seen too much horror. She wasn't the first. Scratched into the metal sides of the box were dozens of tally marks and what looked like fingernail scratches. Later, the police would find evidence of 7 others who hadn't survived. I helped her upstairs and called 911 with shaking fingers. When my stepfather woke to police sirens, the look on his face told me everything. He lunged for me with hands to silence forever, but the woman from the box, despite her weakness, swung a fireplace poker with surprising strength. We learned later she was a missing nursing student who'd been abducted 3 weeks earlier. The detectives found a journal in my stepfather's workshop detailing his experiments, how long people could survive in confined spaces with minimal water and air. My mother collapsed when they told her, a broken shell who claimed she never knew, but must have suspected something. Emma and I went to live with our grandmother while Mom got help. Sometimes I still wake up hearing those 3 taps in the darkness. Breaking that one rule saved not just the woman in the box, but probably Emma and me too. The detective told me later that family members were often removed once they grew suspicious. My stepfather had already dug a hole in the woods behind our house. It was just deep enough for 2 child-sized bodies.